Hello, good evening, welcome. Hi, another beautiful day. I'm going to take these out because nobody's going to be talking to me, and hopefully you can hear me. Well, I'm saying hopefully you can hear me. I can do it miming if you want. No, I can't really. You'll have to forgive me because I've cut myself shaving. I think it's I don't know what you call it. It's one of those things where you go a bit thick. Baby, you've ordered a DNA test. Well done. Is that to prove that you're real? Well, okay, matey. Where have you ordered that from? Just tell me. You can come on live if you want and talk. I'm open. Well, I'm saying I'm open to it. I can put a link up if you want, and yeah, I could put a link up, and hopefully I could hear you if you came in. If you see what I mean. Anyway, yeah. So I've had a call from the boy tonight, and everything's the same as it was last week. They're still locked up forever. My heritage. Oh, that's not a bad sight. So, have you done that for a reason, matey? Is it just that you want to see what what it brings back for you? Because you know I'm here if you want help. Because I don't mind. I've got plenty of time. Well, when I say I've got plenty of time, I've got a spare afternoon once a week now still. But that's up to you if you want. If you want the help, you can get the help. If you don't, there you go. Yeah, well, you know, you could be 100% Nigerian because I'm saying nobody's seen you. I've not seen you. I don't know if anybody else has. But just trying to figure out whether that looks bloody stupid. Anyway, that's what comes of rushing. Yeah, so just let me know if you want to come on live, and I'll put a link up for you, matey. So yeah, like I say, I've had a chat with Levi this evening about an hour ago, and he seems fine. He's just a bit peed off in a way, if that's the right word, that they're still locked down for 22 hours a day. Yeah, baby, it'll show you that you're like 80% French. Could be Roman in the Doman or something like that. Yeah, it's if all you're looking for is your heritage, well, that's the one it'll tell you. Yeah, anyway, so nobody does, baby. Nobody expects anything mad. I didn't. I didn't expect anything mad until it came back and told me that everything I thought in my life was total shite. So there you go. Yeah, I wouldn't Irish and English. Yeah, well, you'll have an idea. I thought I was a true blue Yorkshireman till I found out I'm a fucking Viking. So there you go. Even though I was born in Yorkshire, it doesn't mean a thing, does it? But yeah, so there isn't a lot to tell you. Yeah, we can go out pillaging. We won't do anything of the other bits, but the pillaging sounds good to me. Well, I don't know if it does because I'm not quite sure what pillaging means, but there you go. You don't want to be a Yank. Oh, worst thing in the world is being a bloody Yank. I think, I think I'd rather be bloody French than a Yank. But that's only me. So, he's a bit paid off because he's like locked up for 22 hours still, and it must be a little bit ball breaking to be locked up for 22 hours, because I'm in this flat for basically that long, and sometimes I sit there and think, well, should I be really doing something else? Should I go out and dig the garden? And then I think, nah, I'm not going to go and dig the garden. We pay somebody for that, so let them do it. So, yeah, there's Dom. There's quite a few that I don't like, but I don't like the Yanks. I like the country, and I like their attitude, but I don't like them personally. And I'm not overstruck on the French, but otherwise, they're okay, aren't they? I think. But maybe he'll know better in a couple of weeks when he gets his results back, and he'll be saying, don't be having a go at me because I'm French. Germans. Oh, don't talk about Germans. The Germans, they once bombed our fish shop. Cheeky bastards. What was that all about? Yeah. Anyway, let's get off. Let's get off all this shite about foreigners. Johnny Foreigner. We don't want to be talking about foreigners. We want to be talking about ourselves. Is everybody doing fine? I know it's getting a little bit cooler now, but everybody will be. It's a bank holiday. Anybody planning to go to the beach or any of the many roller coastery places? I forgot what you call them places. Thorpe Arch and all those type. Is Thorpe Arch a thing, or is that a place where they make furniture? Not sure now. Seems to ring a bell for furniture, but there you go. Thorpe Arch. No, that's a furniture place. I think I was thinking of Thorpe Park, I think. I'm great, apart from my problem I've got. So yeah, I'm great. I got I don't know if anybody uses the NHS app, but I do. I have it on my phone, and I got a message the other day, an email saying, "Oh, there's a new message in your NHS app from the consultants." I thought, oh, right. So logged in and went to the thing, and it came up and it said, "You've got an appointment for the 26th of May at Beverley Community Hospital, outpatients." So I thought, oh, right, okay. So they must be going to go and do something then. Get rid of this polyp thing or whatever I've got. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'll wait for the letter just to see. So next day I get another thing saying, "Oh, there's a message in your NHS app." So I went in, and the message said, "Oh, you've got an outpatient's appointment on the 26th of May, and he'll be phoning you at 10:30. So I don't have to actually go to the hospital. Good evening, Sharon. I don't have to actually go to the hospital. He's going to phone me up. So they're not going to do anything, are they? Basically. That'd be nice. Who's PP? Are you new? But there again, you know. So it's a good one, is that, taking out a big insurance policy. But yeah, so there you go. So I'm not actually going to the hospital on the 26th. I'm sitting at my desk and listening to somebody down the phone telling me whatever it is. So that's not going to sort the problem out, is it? So I've got another month at least with the problem I've got. So anyway, let's just say good evening to whoever's in. Let's have a look and see who's in. So first of all, it's evening, Kelsey love. Nice to see you, darling. Dom, Noxie. No, that was nearly said me, and that's me. Who else? Bibby, good evening. I said good evening, Bibby, but there you go. Real honest ghost. Yeah, Bibby. PP, good evening. Sharon, good evening. Yeah, so there we go. So I can't give you an update, can I? Because it's just talking a load of ooey booey, because he just said, Grandad, time's going by really quick, and it's not going fast enough for me because I'm locked up for 22 hours a day, and it's doing me head in. I said, well, it's just think of me, son. I'm locked up basically 24 hours a day. I know I've got the choice of going out, but I don't. But saying that, I did go out on Thursday. I got my act together on Thursday afternoon and went round the corner to the to the polling station and cast my vote, and then come straight back home again. So I think I was out 15 minutes. That's nice, Sharon. He sounds all right, love, doesn't he? I presume he sounds the same to you as he does when he speaks to me. I don't think he'll be any different talking to you as he talks to me, if that makes sense to you. Just to me in my head, but there you go. Yeah, so cast my vote on Thursday, and the first time basically I've been out all week, and I was out for 15 minutes. So there you go. And I'm telling a lie, because I've been sat out a couple of mornings this week, and I've read 3 or 4 chapters of the book I'm reading at the moment. And I'm not going to tell you which one it is because I can't remember the name of it. It's a good book, but I can't remember the name of it. It might come to me as I'm talking along. But it's a long time since I've read so much, quite honestly. I used to be, a big reader, especially those, with the big pictures in. I was really good at those back in the day. So I've totally gone off the boil. I've totally lost the plot because I've forgotten what I was going to say, and I've totally forgotten what I was going to say. But there you go. And I know I say this every time, but this coffee's freezing. I don't know why I make coffee. I should just have lemonade or something. At least that's meant to be bloody cold. But yeah, so Is anybody planning anything for tomorrow? Bank holiday Monday? Anybody going to the seaside or out into the parks or, out like that? I'm not. I'll be going outside, sit on the bench if it's really sunny again, and read another couple of chapters of my book and then come back in and watch boring TV, I think. Or I might just do a bit online. But I do that every day. So having a bank holiday, and I do the same things. It's not like having a bank holiday, is it, really? So I might just see if I can do something different. Yeah, just same old day. It's one of those days where you get up, do what you're going to do all day, go to bed, and repeat. Same here. Every day is the same. Some days I have to ask my Google what day it is, because I just lose track of days. It's bloody stupid, really. But I got an email this morning. Or was it this morning? Or was it Friday? No, this morning. National Lottery. Oh, National Lottery, here we go. You won a free ticket or a free, whatever they call it, your freebie. You've got a freebie. Right, that's good of them. I want a bloody million. I don't want a free bit of old tatty paper thing, whatever. I want a million. I've got plans in my head and I want to do it. And then Friday afternoon, I got an email from National Savings, and I'd won £50 on the premium bonds. So there you go. Premium bonds Friday, a lucky dip on Saturday. There's nothing happening on a Sunday, so I might just win tomorrow night. Is there one tomorrow night? I don't know. Anyway, so I keep saying it comes in threes, but it never bloody does come in threes. Don't know where that saying comes from. It comes in threes. Well, it's a load of shite, because it doesn't. Well, you never know, do you? It might do. I can honestly tell you now, you'll be the first to know if I win big. Because I'll be on here straight away, shouting it out to everybody. Yeah. It's just the way it's going to be. When I win that million, that's the way it's going to be. I'm going to let everybody know I've got it. And I can have the greatest pleasure in saying, no, you're not getting any of it. So there you go. So, excuse me. Where can we go from it? Where can we go from here? I was just looking outside to see if it's still nice weather. Still a blue sky. So, where can we go? Nothing else has happened. Well, saying that, I've sat all afternoon and I've watched Star Trek. It's been a Star Trek weekend on one of the channels. I can't remember what channel it was, but it was Star Trek. 3 films. So I watched those this afternoon. Well, off and on, because I've seen them so much of I don't need strippers, Kelsey, I can tell you now. They wouldn't do anything for me. I might be able to do something for them, but they wouldn't do anything for me. Yeah. Strippers. Floor to ceiling in strippers. That's what you want. beggar the thought. So, I don't think I'd want to win $1 million anyway. I think it'd spoil me. Quite honestly, I think I'm such a nice chap, and I think if I had £1 million, it'd bloody spoil me. I think I'd rather be skint. But yeah, I got my pension increase this week. I have a state pension, and I have a very, very, very small private pension, and I got 28 quid on my state pension, and I got £13 less on my private pension because it had gone in tax. So just goes to show you, doesn't it? They give you it in one hand and take it back in another. Which all governments are all the same. They've all done it. You know, I've got plenty of experience of different governments we've had, and they've all been the same. They give it, oh, we're going to give you this and we're going to give you that and blah, blah, blah. And then they take it all back. They always find a way of taking it back. When I was in the forces, when I first joined up, we didn't have to pay for anything. You know, you didn't get a big wage. You got a decent wage, but you didn't get a big wage. And but you didn't have to pay for anything. You know, you got your food, accommodation, all was free. Your uniform, you know, all that kind of, everything you needed was free. The only thing that wasn't free was, you know, stuff like your shaving gear and boot polish and, you know, those type dusters and stuff like that. They weren't free, but everything else was free. And then the Labour government came in when I was, let me just think how old I was. I think I was 19. Might have got the date wrong, but I think I was 19. And the Labour government came in and gave us a huge rise. It was bloody massive. Oh, we're going to give the forces, I don't know, 20 quid a week more, or what I can't remember now how much it was. But it was a big pay rise, and we're all going, yeah, great, yeah, thank you. And then they said, but you're going to have to start paying for your accommodation. You're going to have to start paying for your food and any other extras you get. So we ended up out of pocket. So we got this huge pay rise and then ended up with less money at the end of the week because they took it all back in charges. And that's exactly what they do. They give you a load of money and then they take it all back in different ways. They always find a way of getting the money out of you, always. You know, well, we're not going to do this and we're not going to do that, but they do it a different way. So, and it ain't only the Labour governments that do it, you know. The Conservatives do it, but I don't think they do it as bad as the Labour do, if you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain that one. But when I came out of the army, of course, I had to go on reserve. So I was on reserve. And when you're on reserve, you had to report to a camp once a year for a day. A full day, you had to report to this camp. So, you know, that they can, whatever. Can't train you much in a day, can they? But you had to attend. Now, when I came out of the army in 1975, I think it was 76, Conservatives was in power, and I had to go for my first day. I had to attend my first day on reserve to to here in Hull. There's a barracks in Hull. I can't remember the name of it, but I had to attend here. And this I got through the post. You need to be here at 8:30 or whatever on the set date. Blah blah blah. And here's a train ticket. So they give me a return train ticket to get to Hull to attend this one day. And after you've done the day, you signed your thing saying, yeah, they've told me this, they've told me that, blah, blah, blah. Signed all that. And then at the end of the month, you got £120 for the day, which was, you didn't get anything else during the year, but you got the £120 for the day training or whatever it was. And then Labour came in. They came into power, and my first day on reserve that I had to attend, I got the letter through the post saying you've got to attend your day's reserve thing, and it's in York, and you've got to be there. And I think it was at Strensall, I think the place was, just outside York. And you've got to be there for 9 a.m. So I thought, yeah, that's good. No train ticket, nothing. Just got to be there. So, of course, then I had to work out a way I was going to get from Brid to Strensall by that time in the morning. So I had to hire a bloody car. And anyway, went for the day. End of the month, I got £10. So, boom, I rest my case. Conservatives get back in afterwards, and it went back up. I used to get the train ticket, or it might not have been a train ticket. I can't remember what they call it. You could either use a bus or a train. It was a travel pass type thing. I can't remember what its name is. So I got the train ticket, the travel pass, to go to Hull, and got paid, I think it was £100 at the end, until Labour got back in, took it all away again. And then I don't know if anybody, you might not be at that age where, and I can't remember what year it was, but there was a fireman's strike. And they brought the army in to do fireman things, fireman things. And it was in green goddesses, they called them. And it was the green fire engines that we had in the army. You could piss quicker than one of these green goddess things. So I got, because I was on reserve, I got called up for 3 weeks. And I had to go to, where did I have to go? I think I had to attend at Leeds. And I was at Leeds for 3 weeks with these green goddesses. Now, of course, you've got to remember, I wasn't, when I was in the army, I wasn't a bloody fireman. I'd never used a fire hose or out like that before. I was a chef. But I still had to go, and I had to do my 3 weeks. And saying that, I got paid for it. I got 3 weeks pay. Decent. 3 weeks decent pay. So that wasn't too bad. And then, I don't know, when I turned 40, my reservist days finished. So I didn't have, once I turned 40, I didn't have to, I didn't have to go for a day or they couldn't call me up, stuff like that. So fairly, I don't know if luck is the word, but of course, I didn't get called up for all these silly things that have happened to us since. I'm trying to remember which ones they've been using reservists on. I know Afghanistan and Iraq and all those type of places. I think they've used lots of reservists on there. Of course, I didn't have to do any of those. And trying to remember when the Falklands was, because I know I didn't get any. I didn't get a call up for the Falklands. Anyway, but saying that, I'd have gone. If they'd called me up, I'd have gone. Wouldn't have worried me to go, even though I might have been on walking sticks or whatever you call them things at the time. But yeah, so that's how governments change between the things. One says, "Oh, we'll give you this, this, and this," and they give you it all and tell everybody, "Oh, we've given them all this stuff," and blah, blah. But they don't tell everybody that they've taken it back by the back door means. But every government's the same. They're all the same. I believe, quite honestly, that when you voted into government, into office, they've got to attend the House of Commons within, I think, 3 days of being what do you call it? Been voted in. They've got to attend, and then they've got to swear the oath of allegiance. And you can swear it to a donkey or a pig or whatever, you know what I mean? They've got to swear something. Not swear words, but swear an oath of allegiance. And I believe that once they've sworn that oath of allegiance, they take them out into a little room at the back. They give them a local anaesthetic, and they open up the top of the head, and they take out a little piece of the brain. That's the nice piece. And they put it into a little keeping dish thing, a petri dish, or whatever you call them things, and they stick it on a shelf. And then they sew the head back up and let them go. So, of course, the House of Commons in the back room's got all these little bits of brains with all the people's names on it. And then if they get kicked out or whatever, then they go back in, they open it up, and they put that back in, this little piece of brain that they've had taken out. Because they all act like dickheads. They're all really nice when you first start, can't do enough for you. They get through that door, and once they're through the door, they're just totally different people. And it's because they've had that nice piece of brain in the head removed for the duration. And if you're in there along, if you're fortunate, I don't even can't say that word. Fortunately, I said it, but I don't think I'd be able to say it again. But if you keep getting voted back in, of course, you're never ever going to get this bit back in your head. So you're always going to be a twat. That's my theory on our politicians. I don't know if anybody knows any of these politicians. I don't know any personally. But I presume some of you, or one or two of you, might know of a politician or a local government officer or something like that. Not workers, but those, the ones who have the power. They're the ones who've had the piece of brain removed. And of course, now this next week, you've got what, 700 local councillors that'll be queuing up to get this piece of brain book back in their head, so that they can sound nice again. So there you go. That's a hell of a theory, isn't it? But it's a theory. I might write a paper about it and send it to the wherever you send the papers you put in. You know, I might win the Nobel Prize for being a twat. You never know, do you? I did have a thing on the tip of my tongue there when I was talking about Nobel Prizes, because of course everybody's saying they should give that fat, useless tangerine pillock across the pond a Nobel Prize for peace. What is the world coming to? What is the world coming to when a bully and an extortionist and it's not a paedophile, I don't know what the word is, but he's not a paedophile, he just doesn't appreciate the opposite sex. I can't think of the word you'd use. Yeah, so he's a total twat. And yet they're all saying, oh, he should get a Peace Prize. He should get the Nobel Peace Prize because he's such a nice chap. I know what he should get, but I don't think I'm supposed to say it on here. I might get locked up. It has been known, hasn't it? But there you go. You never know. These things happen. So, folks, you know, there's loads of stuff going through here at the moment. And I'm trying to think of how I can get it to come out of here without being too derogatory or whatever. It doesn't normally worry me, you know, about what I think or what. Well, it certainly doesn't worry me about what I think. It doesn't really worry me about what I say. But I think in this day and age, you've got to be a little bit more careful on what you're actually saying, because, you know, I don't want to get locked up. It's a bit, talk about getting locked up. You'll have seen that pedo that came back from wherever it was, Vietnam or where, I don't know where he came back from. In Thailand it might have been, but he ran out of money, so he decided to come back to the UK, and he was in court for being a pedo and whatever, and I think he's 81 or 82, and he got 43 years. Why don't they just shoot the pillock? 43 years, he's going to die in locked up. He's never going to get out again, is he? So should just string him up, hang him up by his neck. Well, maybe not his neck, hang him up by his bollocks. It doesn't make any difference how you hang him up. But yeah, so we're going to be keeping some twat locked up again for the rest of his life, and we'll be paying for it again. You know, get shut. And I know I was listening to one of these do-gooders or whatever, I don't know what you call them, but do-gooders on the TV over the last few days since the election results came out, and everybody's saying about about Nigel being this, that, and the other, and whatever. And, you know, I don't agree with everything Nigel says, you know, but I do agree with quite a lot. And, you know, somebody was saying, well, it was a Labour person sat on the thing, and she said we deported 4,000 people who are not don't have the right to live here. Now, it wasn't Nigel who was on the thing, but it was one of his mouthpieces was sat there, and I thought he was really good. The doctor, I don't know what his name is, but he's a doctor, and so he said to this Labour, how many of them were illegal immigrants? She changed the subject. He said, you're not answering. Why are you not answering? You've deported 4,000 immigrants who don't have the right to live in this country. How many of them were illegal? And she didn't answer. She changed the subject completely. And he said, well, there you go. You've got all these coming in on boats who are illegal immigrants, and they're getting rid of people who have come in another way and not been able to satisfy the rules or whatever, and they're sending them home. So this Conservative guy said to this doctor, well, what would you do? How would you sort it out? He said, we'd send them back. Well, what do you mean you'd send them back? Well, we'd get them off the boats, put them into a bus, take them to Dover, put them on the ferry and send them back. They'll stop coming then. As soon as you pick them up, get them back and send them back. So he said, well, the French won't allow it. He said, well, why? Why won't they allow it? That's where they've come from. So he says, well, they won't. So he says, so we're giving the French £55 million a year to stop these boats coming across. And what you've got is the French Coast Guard are making sure that they can get to the 12-mile limit before they sink. So they're escorting them across. Well, well, you asked for me answer, and that's my answer. Put them on boats or put them on buses, take them to Dover, and put them on the ferry and send them back to France. So, you know, that's how to deal with illegals, because once you do things like that, they're not going to keep coming, because they know they're going to spend 4 or 5 grand of money that costs them to get here, and to be sent straight back. Well, they've wasted the money, haven't they? So I don't know why I'm looking over there, because I should be looking over here where the thing is. So, yeah. So that's how to deal with illegal immigrants. And like PP says, the word illegal says it all. They're illegal. They're not meant to be here. You know, we're celebrating this week, May the 8th, we're celebrating the end of the last war. Now, what would have happened 80 years ago if all the Germans got in little rubber boats and came across the fucking channel? Would we let them in? Oh, come in. And no, we fucking wouldn't. And we shouldn't do now. That's the point. So I hope, and I know, you know, the Nigel and his crew can't do a lot because they're only in local government. So you can't do a lot in local government, but you can do a few things. And if there's a way, he'll find a way So I hope he does. And there you go. Yeah, it isn't only, Dom, it's not only the government that calls them migrants. You've got all these do-gooders, you know, these limp-wristed dickheads who say, you know, they're migrants. But they're not. They're fucking illegal immigrants. Well, if there was a way they could get here legally, they'd do it. Well, why? We don't want them. We don't want illegal immigrants. We want what we say we want. If we want, I don't know, people who can decorate or build houses or pull teeth or whatever, that's what we want. We don't want people who are coming over here who are not going to do knack all. And, you know, but unfortunately, we're a little bit soft, basically. And I did notice PP had put about the ECHR. Well, we are part of the European Court of Human Rights. Unfortunately for us. Now, if Nigel had his way, we'd be out. We wouldn't be, because if we were in it, we wouldn't have to go by their rules. And their rules basically are telling us what to do. And yeah, so I agree on the fishing as well. I agree on the fishing. However, you know, we don't have the days of us as a nation being fishermen. We don't have many fishermen as such, because, and it, you know, it goes way back. Goes back to when Greenland decided to kick us out of their territorial waters. So, so we don't have lots of fishermen. But I agree, you know, if the French, Danish, Norwegians, Germans, or whatever want to come and collect fish in our area, which is ours, we should charge them a bucket full of money. And at least get something back. But, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Now, I don't, you know, you've only got to go back to, and I don't like talking Brexit. You go back to Brexit, and one of the big things was, well, we'll get our fishing thing back. You know, we'll be able to decide who fishes and who doesn't. But we haven't done. You know, we haven't done. We still let them come over, and we don't do a great deal about it. Like the illegal immigrants, we don't do a great deal about it. We have all these boats running up and down the channel called border police or whatever they want to call them, bloody selves, with guns and whatever. But we don't do knack all. Start sinking the boats and then see what happens. Yeah, Dom, we buy fish from Iceland, but you know, we didn't used to, and that's the point. We didn't used to buy fish from Iceland. We used to get fish from here, from Hull and Grimsby and, you know, all those places, because we had a huge fishing fleet. But like I say, the Icelanders kicked us out of their thing, and then what happened is we went far afield and down towards the Falklands way, not as far as the Falklands, but towards that way, and we got kicked out of there as well. So, you know, So there you have it. Yeah, I'm not saying, if we had our own fishermen nowadays, I'm not saying that fish would be cheap, because I can't imagine it would be. But at least it would keep some people in employment. Anyway, so we're not going to get the fishing boats back. We're not going to get the fishermen back. So it's pointless, isn't it? But like I say, we should put big I was going to say tariff, but it's not really tariff. We should charge them an arm and a leg. If they want to fish our water, charge them, and charge them big for it, for the right of it. Not, say to France, well, if you stop 25 illegal immigrants on a Monday, we'll let your fishermen come and rob our waters for a week. That. Anyway, so there you go. But there's lots of things like that where we've given away a lot of our stuff, if you know what I mean. A bit like our power. Most of our power that we call ours, it's on this, built in this country, and it's running in this country, but it's not owned by this country. It's owned by the French. They own it. EDF own nearly all of our big power. I can't think of what the word is. Generators. Of course, we're getting a big new nuclear power. I don't know if it's online yet, but it's can't be far off, and it's huge. But it's French. The French own it, not us. We've told them that, if you build it, we'll pay you this much money for the power you supply. And we're giving them a big lump. We're paying over the odds for the power that they're generating on our soil, and we'll be paying them a bucket full of money for it. So we're not going to get cheaper electric because, we should invest all this silly money that we're giving away to silly things. We should start building small nuclear power stations. We've got loads of places where we could stick it. They don't have to be in the middle of a fucking city, do they? Or on the edge of a city or whatever. We've got loads of wide open spaces. Why don't we invest some bloody money instead of throwing £28 billion down a black hole, building a fucking railway that nobody wants? That'll give you an extra 15 minutes in London. Oh, what the fuck is that all about? Spend the money wisely. Anyway. We've given everything away. And, this country is known for inventors. We've invented lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things, and yet we've sold them on. We've given to other people. You've got, one that sticks in my head is the hovercraft, and before you knew it, the Yanks were building fucking hovercrafts because we'd given them the right to build hovercrafts. And then what do you know? They start building them cheaper than we can build them. So we go out of business, they stay in business, and then they flog us. Them fucking overcraps. Ugh. What's the aeroplane? The aeroplane was another one, wasn't it? What was the aeroplane? Harrier jump jet. Nobody could get an aeroplane. The Yanks tried it. They couldn't figure it out. They had one, they had a plane that used to go up and down and forward and back. But what they would do is the wings would turn up and they had propellers on to lift them up. Whereas we invented a Harrier jump jet where it could take off from the ground and fly forward. What happens? The Yanks get it. So now we don't make Harrier jump jets. They do. And then they sell us them for like £80 million a piece. What the fuck is that all about? It's crackers. It's mad. And it's because the Yanks think that, we've invented this and they've invented fuck all. Quite honestly, except being out to be an extortionist and rip everybody off. So there you go. Yeah, PP, I agree. You're saying some obvious things. Yeah, I agree entirely. Where did the Industrial Revolution begin? It began in this country. Where did the railways begin? In this country. And who's got the worst railway thing in the world? We have. What is it all about? Yeah, Dom, you might be saying our new fighters can lift and land without a runway. But they're not ours, are they? We're buying them from America. We built a huge aircraft carrier. And we didn't have a fucking aeroplane to put on them. We got this huge aircraft carrier. And I think we've got two. I'm not quite sure, but we've got one of the biggest in the world aircraft carriers. And we never had an aeroplane to put on them. We're having to buy them from the Yanks. And, £80 million a piece. And we don't, they're not ours when we buy them. We might own the aeroplane, but the Yanks own all the bits inside it. And they, if they fall out with you, they turn the fucking stuff off in the aeroplane and you can't use it. What's that all about? Don't trust a fucking Yank. They're a load of robbing bastards. Anyway, sorry. I do. I haven't really swore a lot, have I? Really, and I do normally swear a lot, but I've. Yeah. Yeah, but like I say, we used to be, people used to be inventors. I presume this country's still got people who invent things. The guy who invented the wind-up radio, took him years to get somebody interested in the wind-up radio. But, we don't make them in this country. Dyson, another one. Fucking Dyson. Starts in this country, and because he's a greedy twat, he slings all his stuff across to the cheapest country that'll make it for him. So he makes more money and then charges you 180 quid to buy one. I wouldn't fucking have £180 to buy a fucking Hoover. What's that all about? Go and get yourself a brush and a fucking pan shovel. Fucking Hoover, 140 quid. Crackers. The world's gone mad. You go out and get a Henry for 95. Does the job. Just doesn't look great, does it? Oh, I've got a Henry. All right, I've got a fucking Dyson and it sucks you off. Wow. Well, there you go. There's lots of things in there with loads of things that we pay an arm and a leg for, and really they should be as cheap as chips, quite honestly. And anyway, we've come to the hour, folks. I'm getting a little bit heated now, and if I've upset anybody, well, tough shit. I don't give a fucking rat's ass. If I've upset you, I've upset you. I'm not going to take it back, but I don't think I have. So there you go. So anyway, folks, thank you for turning up. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed it, put the tick down below. There you go. And if you haven't enjoyed it, put that down below as well. It doesn't make any difference. You're not going to break my heart by saying you don't like it. But it all helps for the channel. Everything helps. And comment. Comments help, even if you put a crap comment. It helps, you know. And I do read all comments, and I do whatever the thing is. I do it. So I answer comments. If there's comments there, I answer them. And now, I did say last week I was putting some music up on Cheg's Music Legacy. And this week I've been a little bit pushed, and I haven't had the chance to download anything, but I'll download it tomorrow, or maybe Tuesday. I'll download it on Tuesday, and I'll put some more music up. And then, because I know there's a few, not a lot of people listen to it, but there's a few out there who are interested, and I appreciate anybody coming out. And I appreciate it even more if you shared it, because other people would see it. But there you go. As you know, I'm not one for pushing stuff. I'm not like that at all. But thanks for coming. If you're new and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the little bell, and it'll tell you when I'm on. And I can honestly say, Sunday night, 7 o'clock, I'm on. Monday night, 7 o'clock, I'm on. An hour on each. So there you go. And like I say, thanks for coming. I've enjoyed the hour. I know I was getting a little bit heated, but that's only because that little fat gate across the pond, you know, the little fat tangerine pillock, is in my head now. And I can't get rid of him. But there you go. Somebody might get rid of him for me. And live long and prosper. Take care, because I care. And thanks for coming. And TTFN.